that we don't need to talk about like the anarchist angles of Bitcoin. We don't want to talk about privacy. We don't want to talk about the uninterceptable design. We don't want to talk about the fact that no one can silence it, no one can stop it, because that's going to make billionaires uncomfortable. And they want to be investing in something. They want it to be regulated. They want it to be controlled. They want it to be something that works for them. And I think that's absolutely wrong. We need to talk about the rules, values of the system, the crypto part of cryptocurrency. That's what makes it special. I don't care if it makes billionaires uncomfortable. I don't care if it makes JP Morgan slower to allocate. They don't get a vote. Because frankly, they're coming along on this ride, whether they like it or not.
Snowden begins by addressing a concerning trend in the cryptocurrency space, where key principles like decentralization, privacy, and censorship resistance are being downplayed to accommodate institutional investors. According to him, these values are what make Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies special. We don't need to talk about the anarchist angles of Bitcoin, he says, but we do need to talk about privacy, its uninterceptable design, and the fact that no one can silence or stop it. For Snowden, these attributes are the very reason for Bitcoin's existence, its capacity to operate outside of centralized control. The push to make cryptocurrencies more palatable to institutional players and billionaires by toning down these attributes contradicts the original ethos of the space. He asserts that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies should not be molded to fit the desires of large financial institutions, which prefer systems that are regulated and controllable to suit their own interests. This would dilute what makes cryptocurrency a revolutionary tool for financial sovereignty.
Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
The dollar is done. Nothing stops this train, as Lynn Alden says it. Debasement is baked into our models. We see what's happening with the percentage of currency issuance, the deficit spending. It might not happen this year, it might not happen next year, it might not happen in 5 years, but it's very clear looking at the progress of history where these things end. We are in the age of paper, but it is on the decline, it is coming to the end. It's not about any flag, it's about the method. It's what the system is built on. There is no basis here, no strong foundation. So we as a community need to focus on keeping alive the thing that made our currency prosper, where all the others have failed. Less comfortably, I think it also means recognizing that a lot of altcoin activity doesn't serve much purpose in the crypto space, frankly, beyond the dilution of the broader crypto monetary base. Not all of it, certainly. There are some good projects out there, but every single one of you in the audience can call to an example to mind where you would agree that even if we dress it up nice, it is just the scammiest form of rug lying in wait that you can imagine. And it's happening again and again and again and again. People are seeing it like gambling, okay. Maybe it's like a lottery, okay. But think about the systemic effect that this is having. If it's not cordoned off, if it's not sort of the toxic waste, everyone recognizes it for what it is. And a lot of people don't, I think. People are wising up as a community more broadly, but there's more participants, right? There's a new sucker born every day, as they say. And we shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't be exploiting suckers. We should be building a new world because we're already there. And with the old system, right, when the government robs you, at least you can look at the road, oh, maybe I helped build that. If this community is instead just merely buying some, useless jackass and even more useless expensive watch, which system is better? We need to be able to answer that as we occupy a more prominent place in the world. We have to do better if we want to live better. So with that, I just say, look, we need to focus on not being a part of the problem. We have an extraordinary opportunity here. We have changed the world in so many ways, and the world is coming around to listen. They are beginning to buy in. They are beginning to participate. They see the value, and we don't even have to argue it anymore. We have a responsibility to be good stewards of the moment in history that has been created by us, for us, and that we will pass to others. And this is to say, when you look at everything happening, when you look at the desperation for a new control over speech, when you look at the rise of these new disruptive technologies of modernity, such as AI, the way it's evolving, it can be great for us. It can also be very terrible for us. It depends on who is holding the levers of power and how we decentralize them. When you look at the new ways consumer electronics are being turned against us, from how they used to be in small individual targeted cases to now mass broadcast level cases. And you see leaders in our space trying to reject our old traditions, the ones that are valuable, the ones that created the space. I think the lessons are clear. And this is to say that we should defy bureaucracy. We should reject modernity, embrace tradition, and you'll save the world. That's all we have to do. Bitcoin, obviously, I've been a huge fan of for a long time. That's something that really feels calcified to me. We know it has a privacy problem. I've been saying this every year at every one of these conferences for the last 10 years. It still hasn't been fixed. They're frankly not even trying to fix it. People are like, oh, lightning. It doesn't work. It doesn't fix the problem. It's not correct. It's not a solution. We have seen a lot of application of zero knowledge things that are useful. We've seen cross-chain bridges that have really become useful and exciting, but they don't answer that privacy aspect. I think the privacy aspect is the most important problem facing crypto today, because again, we're talking about billionaires, we're talking about big money, we're talking about the states. If you guys don't fix the privacy problem, you are going to be facing the Durov problem. Whether it's your bridge, whether it's Tornado Cash, whether it's whatever, the gun is going to be facing your head unless you make sure that people can use your systems permissionlessly and privately.
In Snowden's view, building a cryptocurrency that can withstand government interference is crucial for its long-term survival. He criticizes projects like Solana, which prioritize speed, efficiency, and centralization at the expense of security and decentralization. Sure, it's faster and more efficient, but no one's using it for anything significant, he says, warning that centralized systems are vulnerable to state control. Instead, Snowden advocates for an adversarial approach to system design, one that anticipates attacks from governments and other powerful actors. Cryptocurrencies must be engineered to last, not just to work well in the short term. He points out that while many early-stage crypto projects are focused on making quick profits, this approach will ultimately fail if the systems can't withstand regulatory or state interference. We are living on the X, he says, referring to the danger zone where new technologies clash with entrenched power structures. Let's make sure we have roofs that can survive the bombs.
I mean, when you look back at the Bitcoin white paper, I think what you see is an adversarial approach to the system, and that's really what you have to be considering. A lot of people, and I don't want to name names, but Solana, are taking good ideas, and they're just going, well, what if we just centralized everything? It'll be faster, it'll be more efficient, it'll be cheaper. And yeah, sure, it is, you're right. But nobody's using it, but for like meme coins and scams, because if anybody puts anything significant on it, and then all the states begin moving towards it, it's going to be a system that has levers that people can simply just take from you. You have to be thinking for the adversarial case, as opposed to the convenient, easy, early case. I mean, that's uncomfortable for like a lot of these founder mode people who are like, oh no, we need the minimum viable product, this, that, and the other. Sure, if you're trying to get rich, that'll work. And a lot of people have demonstrated that. They'll continue to do that. But if you want something that will last, you have to engineer it to last. And that means thinking about how it's going to be attacked and making sure it can survive that. Because we at Crypto, we're living on the X, on the ground, right? You are at the intersection. You are where the bombs are going to drop. Let's make sure that we have roofs that can survive them. Bottom line here is crypto is not a solution to all the world's problems. Crypto can be a solution to some private or some layers of the problem set. And that's what's key, right? When we look at what happened in 2013, the revelations of mass surveillance, this had all been done without any public participation, without any debate. Even members of Congress in the United States, where these intelligence agencies are saying, you guys passed the laws that made this legal. Congress was saying, we didn't authorize that. That wasn't our intention. It's not supposed to do this. The courts in the United States said, well, hold up, this program is illegal. Took them 10 years to get to that point post-revelation, even when they had the evidence, but they eventually say this is illegal, you shouldn't be doing it. The agencies keep doing it the whole time through, right? Through legal changes, through judicial precedents. How? Why? How do you control it? Well, what we realize is that law doesn't always work as a restraint on the state. Because it doesn't have penalties for the state. When the state breaks the law, right, they don't go to jail. Nobody's going to slap a pair of cuffs on the CIA. That's just not how the world works. But what if we could enforce human rights through new means, through math, through technologies, through something that these agencies don't control? That's the power of encryption. That's the power of cryptocurrency. You can create protected spaces that they can't interfere with. Now, again, that's only one part of the problem, but it's a reliable part, and that's what we do. What happens when you talk about the new world? What happens if the state is no longer in control of money? You fix the money, you fix the state. Wars have always been financed throughout history on the basis of deficit spending. If government can't just ransack not only their own treasuries, not only their own tax base, but the savings of everyone in their country, and frankly, everybody else in their country, we're talking about things like the US, where you've got the world reserve currency, you'll see a much more peaceful world. At least that's the hope. But we don't know. What we do know is what we can do. What we do know is that there are places that we can make a difference with, right? We're just technologists. We're just people who see there are places where the law fails. But maybe we can create a safety net for when that fails. Maybe we can put up more safeguards to encode our values, that liberal ideal, that the individual has some claim over themselves, that society, we do want courts, we do want prisons for bad people. We want to have a safe world.
Drawing from his experience as a whistleblower and his deep understanding of the surveillance state, Snowden highlights the power of encryption and decentralization as tools to enforce human rights. He notes that governments have shown time and again that they can break their own laws without facing consequences. Legal systems often fail to hold state actors accountable, especially in matters of privacy and surveillance. This is where decentralized systems come in. Encryption and blockchain technology offer a way to create protected spaces that are beyond the reach of governments and centralized institutions. While these technologies can't solve every problem, they offer a reliable framework for preserving individual freedoms in the digital age.
Please like and subscribe my channel.